guys, welcome to Miss Bulazo's chapter book read aloud series. So in some of my other read alouds, I was reading some fun picture books, but for this part of the series, I'm going to read a chapter book. So I will read 2 chapters of Clementine in each video. So I'll read the first 2 chapters today. So there are 10 chapters. So I want my older students to figure out how many videos will there be. If I have 10 chapters and I read 2 chapters in each video. If you said 5 videos, you were right. Okay, I'm going to start with the first 2 chapters. So this is Clementine. I'll just hold it like this and I'll show you guys the pictures if there are any. Chapter 1. I've had a not so good week. Well, Monday was a pretty good day, if you don't call hamburger surprise at lunch and Margaret's mother coming to get her, or the stuff that happened in the principal's office when I got sent there to explain that Margaret's hair was not my fault. And besides, she looks okay without it. But I couldn't because Principal Rice was gone, trying to calm down Margaret's mother. Someone should tell you not to answer the phone in the principal's office, if that's a rule. Okay, fine. Monday was not so good of a day. So this is Clementine, our main character. Which was a surprise because it started off with 2 lucky signs, which fooled me. First, there was exactly enough banana slices in my cereal, 1 for every spoonful. Then, as soon as I got to school, my teacher said, the following students are excused from journal writing so they can go to the art room to work on their Welcome to the Future projects, and I was one of the students. So instead of having to think of things to write in my journal, which I hate, I got to glue and paint stuff, which I love. Margaret was in the art room too. When I sat down next to her, she threw herself across the Princess from the Future mask she was gluing sparkles onto. Remember the rules, she warned? Margaret's in 4th grade, and I'm in 3rd. She thinks that makes her the boss of me. I hate Margaret's rules. You can't touch my stuff, which she always says. Why? Which I always say. Because it's the rule, Margaret answered, which she always says. Why? I said. Because you can't touch my stuff, she said. And then I pointed out the window, which wasn't exactly lying because I didn't say there was something out there. There's Margaret and Clementine. While Margaret was looking out the window, I accidentally touched her mask. Twice. Okay, fine. Then I got busy working on my project, so I wouldn't have to hear any Clementine, pay attention, except I did anyway. Which was unfair because each time I was the only person in the whole art room who was paying attention, which is why I could tell everyone right in the middle of the Pledge of Allegiance that the lunchroom lady was sitting in the janitor's car and they were kissing. Again, no one else saw this disgusting scene because no one else was paying attention out the window. And after that, when it was my turn to pass around the stapler, I could tell everyone that the art teacher's scarf had an egg stain on it that looked, if you squinted, exactly like a pelican, which nobody else noticed. Clementine, you need to pay attention, the art teacher said one more time. And just like the other times, I was paying attention. I was paying attention to Margaret's empty seat. Margaret had been excused to go to the girls' room, and when she left, she had her scrunched up don't cry eyes and a pressed down don't cry mouth. And she had been gone a really long time, even for Margaret, who washes her hands 1 finger at a time. I need to go to the girls' room, I told my teacher. That's where Margaret was, all right, curled up under the sink with her head on her knees. Margaret, I gasped, you're sitting on the floor. Margaret hitched herself over the side a little so I could see. She placed a germ-protective layer of paper towels under her. Still, I said, what's the matter? Margaret pressed her head down harder into her knees, which were all shiny with tears. She pointed up, laying on the sink next to a pair of do not remove from the art room scissors, was a chunk of brown straight hair. Uh-oh. Come out, Margaret, I said. Let me see. Margaret shook her head. I'm not coming out until it's grown back. Well, I think I see a germ crawling up your dress. Margaret jumped out from underneath the sink. She looked at herself in the mirror and began to cry again. I got a glue in my hair, she sobbed. I was just trying to cut it out. Margaret's hair was halfway down her back. It was hard not to notice the whole part over her left ear was missing. There was Margaret's hair missing. Maybe if we evened up a chunk on your right ear, I suggested. Margaret wiped her eyes dry and nodded. She handed me the scissors. I cut. We looked back in the mirror. I like the bangs. I tried to cheer her up. Sort of. Except bangs are in front of your hair, not the sides, Margaret reminded me. Then she took a deep sigh, picked up the scissors, and cut off all of the hair over her forehead. Now the front half of her hair was chopped off, and the back half was long and straight and shiny. Not so good, Margaret said, looking in the mirror. Not so good, I agreed. We looked at her not-so-good hair in the mirror for a really, really long time without saying anything, which was very hard for me. Then Margaret's bottom lip began to shiver, and her eyes filled up with tear balls again. She handed the scissors back to me, and then she closed her eyes and turned around. All of it? I asked. All of it. So I did, which is not exactly easy with those plastic art scissors, let me tell you. And just as I was finishing, the art teacher came in looking for us. Clementine, she shouted, what are you doing? And then Margaret went all historical, and the teacher went all historical, and nobody could think of anything except the regular thing to do, which is send me to the principal's office. While I was waiting there, I drew a picture of Margaret with her chopped off hair. I made her look beautiful like a dandelion. Here's a picture of that. If they had special classes for gifted kids in art, I would definitely be in it. But they don't, which is also unfair. Only for math and science. I'm not so good at English. Okay, fine. Sorry, only for math and English. I'm not so good at English. Okay, fine. But this year, I'm in the gifted class for math. And here is the bad surprise. So far, no gifts. I told Principal Rice about the problem when she got back from calming down Margaret's mother. So far, no gifts, I told her, extremely politely. Principal Rice rolled her eyes to the ceiling then, and she was looking for something up there. Ceiling snakes, maybe? Just waiting to drip on you? Then, that's what I used to be afraid of when I was little anyways. Now, I'm not afraid of anything. Okay, fine. I'm afraid of pointy things, but that's all. And boomerangs. Clementine, you need to pay attention, said Principal Rice. We need to discuss Margaret's hair. What are you doing on the floor? Helping you look for ceiling snakes, I reminded her. Ceiling snakes? What ceiling snakes? She asked. See what I mean? Me paying attention. Everybody else not. I'm amazed they let someone with this problem be the boss of our school. All right, Clementine, Principal Rice said in her I'm trying to be patient, but it's getting harder voice. Why did you cut off Margaret's hair? I was helping, I said. Then I told Principal Rice about how I helped her too. I answered the phone while you were gone, and I ordered some new school pets, and I told the gym teacher we're not going to play dodgeball anymore, and I made 2 appointments for you. The phone kept going dead, so I guess it's busted, but at least I helped you a little. That's what I thought. There's a look they teach a person to make a principal. In principal school, that's not very nice. There's Principal Rice. What do you guys think? She ordered some pets to the school. No dodgeball. Okay, chapter 2. Margaret was waiting for me in the lobby of the apartment building when I got off the bus after school. I showed her my picture. Ah! She screamed. I look like a dandelion. That's how good of an artist I am. Everybody knows what it is. Dandelions are beautiful. I pulled her into the elevator, which has mirrors on all sides so she could see. Margaret shook her head. For flowers, maybe, not for people's hair. There they are. Besides, dandelions are yellow, not brown. I look like a dead dandelion. Then she brightened up a little. Maybe that would help, if my hair were yellow. Then she took a long, I wish look at my hair in the mirror. Or red. And for the first time that day, I saw Margaret smile. I could do that for you, Margaret, I told her. Oh, sure, I could make your hair red, just like mine. How? Margaret asked. I'd been so happy to see Margaret smile that I forgot to figure out a plan. But then a great idea popped in my head. I'm lucky that way. Great ideas are always popping in my head without me having to think them up. My mother has some special markers for you. They color over anything, and then they stay there. Spinach got a hold of one and drew all over the walls, and my parents couldn't get it off. They had to paint the room over, and that's how permanent the markers are. Okay, fine. My brother's name is really not Spinach, but I got stuck with a name that is also a fruit, and that's not fair that he didn't. The only thing worse than a fruit name is a vegetable name, so that's why I think he should have it. I collected a lot of names for him. So do you guys know what a Clementine is? It's like a small little orange, so that's her name. She thinks that her brother should have a vegetable name like Spinach. Spinach did that, Margaret answered. The easy one? I squinted at her. The easy one? That's what my mother calls him. She said it's a good thing your parents got an easy one after you. Same in my family. I'm the easy one. She says when there are 2 kids in a family, there's always an easy one and a hard one. I guess it's the rule. Oh yeah, kinda, I said. I knew that. But I didn't. And so about those markers, Margaret reminded me. Okay, I said, if the easy one could use them, I guess it couldn't be that hard. I guess the hard one could too. Let's go. And when we pressed B for basement, we rode down to my apartment. I ran into the kitchen and climbed up onto the counter and grabbed the box of markers from where my mom had hidden them and jumped down. Before I left, I yelled to my mother in the living room. Hi, Mom. Everything went great at school. I was really paying attention, and now I'm going to play with Margaret because everything's fine with Margaret. No problems. Bye. Just so she wouldn't worry. And then I ran out to Margaret in the elevator. She looked through the box and pulled out a marker named Flaming Sunset. She took off the cap and held the marker against my hair. Perfect, she said. Let's go up to the apartment. I'd forgotten about that part too. Is your mother still mad? Yep, but she took 3 aspirin and went to work. Only my brother's home. So I said, okay, and we rode up the elevator to Margaret's apartment, even though I don't like Margaret's room. One reason I don't go there is mascara. Mascara always hides under Margaret's bed and hisses because he hates everyone except Margaret. But sometimes I can see his tail or one paw, and then I feel too sad because it reminds me of my old cat, Polka Dotty, who died. Last year, Polka Dotty had 3 kittens in my bureau drawer, which luckily I always leave open. My parents let me name them. Since I've discovered that the most exquisite word in the world are labels you will find in a bathroom, I carried the kittens into the bathroom and looked around until I found beautiful names. Fluorine and laxative went to live with people who answered the free kitties hurry ad my dad put in the paper, which was unfair to Polka because they were strangers. Then Margaret's mother said, all right, Margaret, you can have a kitty as long as you take care of it. And that was good. That was good because at least Mascara would be living with someone Polka knew. Except then Polka Dotty died. So now Margaret has a cat that's just fine and I don't. But the main reason I don't go to Margaret's room is because it makes me feel itchy. I feel itchy in Margaret's room because it looks like a magazine picture. Everything matches and is always exactly where it's supposed to be, in straight lines. Plus nothing in her room is broken, and it's all clean. Not a speck of dirt is allowed in her room. Actually, Margaret looks like a magazine picture too. Her hair is always combed, well, it used to be, and her clothes always match. And I think she probably sleeps in her bathtub because I've never seen a single smudge of dirt on her. I like her anyways, but it's not always easy. Remember the rules, Margaret said at her bedroom door. While Margaret was looking under the bed for mascara, I accidentally touched her lamp, which is a china poodle with an umbrella that Margaret calls a parasol because she is a show-off. Margaret turned around fast, but my hands jumped into my pockets even faster. All right, I said, let's get going with the coloring. That's called changing the subject. It's very hard to color hair with a marker, let me tell you, but I did it. I colored all of Margaret's hair chunks, Flaming Sunset, and then another really great idea popped into my head, and I drew Flaming Sunset curls all over her forehead and the back of her neck, so her hair would look more like mine. It looked beautiful, like a giant tattoo of tangled up worms. When I grow up, I want to have hundreds of tattoos. Margaret looked in the mirror. She looked again at my hair, and she looked in the mirror again. Okay, Good. And then she told me she was getting bracelets put on her teeth. You mean braces? I told her. No, she said, bracelets. They're a special kind of braces. They're jewelry. Oh, I knew that, but I didn't. Okay, fine. Later that night, I was just at the hard part of falling asleep, which is lying in the dark, trying not to think about pointy things, and I heard the phone ring. I'm going to show you guys, this is what her hair looks like with the curl tattoos. What do you guys think about that? I don't know if you'd want your head shaved with curly tattoos. My dad said, "Hi, Susan," which is Margaret's mother's name. Then he didn't say anything for a long time. Then he said, "Now, Susan, let's just look at this calmly." And then he didn't say anything for another long time. And then he said, "I'm sorry," 7 times, which is 2 more times than he said it after he told my mother he thought her overalls were getting a little snug. Next, I heard him go into my brother's room, where my mom was putting broccoli to bed to say goodnight to him. Then I heard my parents whispering together as they walked down the hallway to my room. And I thought this would be an ideal time to practice pretending to be asleep. I could feel them standing in my doorway, probably thinking, this hard one is a lot more trouble than the easy one. Then my dad said, "I really think Clementine was just trying to help her." Margaret wanted hair like Clementine's. You know she's always been a little jealous. That was the craziest thing I had ever heard, because Margaret is perfect. But I couldn't tell them this because an important part of pretending to be asleep is not talking. There, her parents are looking in. All right, guys, that was the end of chapter 2. So you're going to have to come back for chapter 3 and 4 to see what happens with Margaret's hair. Bye, guys.